On this special occasion of World Poetry Day, you are tuned into Akashvani MOKOKCHUNG, where we celebrate the beauty of words and the voices behind them. May we begin by inviting you to graciously introduce yourself to our listeners, share the story of your poetic journey, and reflect on the workshops, competitions, or literary gatherings that have helped shape your life.
Thank you. So my name is Imolemla and I'm currently working as a teacher, a role that allows me to inspire young minds while nurturing my own passion for creativity. Beyond the classroom, I am deeply committed to creative expression. My interests span creative writing, reading, crafting spoken word poetry, baking cakes and dessert making, and engaging in public and motivational speaking. I am also an aspiring poetess dedicated to using words not merely as expression, but as instruments to evoke thought, empathy, and connection. Over the years, I have been honored with several recognitions that affirm my commitment to the literary and performing arts. I was awarded Grade A in the International Poetry Writing Competition organized by the All India Forum for English Students, Scholars and Trainers in 2023, with my poetry being published in the anthology Feminiscence, Ode to Womanhood. I also secured first prize in the declamation contest at the Yuva Utsav 2023, organized by Nehru Yuva Kendra MOKOKCHUNG in collaboration with the district administration. I also received first runners-up in the slam poetry competition during the All Nagaland College Students Union E-Collegiate Meet Compete Contest 2020 at Government Polytechnic Kohima. Additionally, I received second position in the state level Youth Festival Essay Writing Competition 2023 and second position in the senior category poetry competition on World Day Against Trafficking in Persons in the year 2020. I was also awarded a consolation prize in the Poetry Slam video competition during the 16th Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence 2020, reflecting my engagement with social issues through art. Beyond competitions, I have had the privilege of participating as a panelist in the discussion Carving a Space of Her Own, a discussion on Naga women writers, held at Fazal Ali College in March 2024, organized by the District Administration, District Hub for Empowerment of Women, and the Department of English. These experiences allowed me to contribute to the discourse on women's voices in literature and to advocate for creative spaces where marginalized perspectives are celebrated. Through these journeys in poetry, performance arts, and public speaking, I strive to craft work that resonates, inspires, and connects deeply with others, while continually growing as both an educator and a creator.
Congratulations on all that you have achieved and the success you so richly deserve. As a fellow Shakespearean, I take great pride in celebrating your accomplishments. So, my first question to you is, what does poetry mean to you personally?
So, on a personal level, poetry is a space where my thoughts and emotions find its clarity and form. It allows me to observe life closely, reflect deeply, and express what often cannot be conveyed through simple conversations. Poetry for me is both a mirror and a window because it reflects my inner world while still offering glimpses into the experiences of others. It is a quiet yet profound companion of mine, one that gives voice to my feelings and emotions that might otherwise remain unspoken.
So, my next question is, when did you first realize that poetry was more than just words to you?
I first realized that poetry was more than mere words to me during a period of my life where I struggled with anxiety. Growing up as a perfectionist, I would constantly push myself harder and harder, believing that I could achieve it, only to learn the hard way that this was a myth. We can never really fully attain perfection. We can only grow and learn each day. During those moments where anxiety was loudest, I would often find it difficult to express my thoughts through spoken word and would continually shut the world out. Then, writing poems became my refuge, a space where I could be my raw, unfiltered self, pouring out every emotion I felt that otherwise had no other outlet. In those quiet, reflective moments, I understood that poetry is not merely an arrangement of an array of words. It is a vessel for feelings, a means of self-discovery, and a bridge connecting my inner world to the experiences and emotions of others.
For there comes a moment when words cease to be mere words and become something far deeper. What inspired you to keep writing, even on quiet or difficult days?
So, on my quiet days, I often find myself writing more than usual because it becomes essential for me to pen down the emotions that feels really heavy or unspoken on my mind. So poetry provides a safe space to process my anxiety, frustration, or even fleeting moments of doubt, transforming them into something that I can reflect on and understand. Life's small moments of beauty, be it expression, a memory, or a thought, also sparks inspiration, reminding me of the depth in everyday experiences. What truly motivates me is knowing that writing, even a single line, has the power to resonate with someone else, offering connection or solace. So, poetry for me is both a personal refuge and a way to remain deeply in tune with myself and the world around me.
Thank you so much, Alam. I recently came across one of your poems titled I Wonder, and when I first read it, I couldn't stop crying. So, could you kindly do me the honor of sharing some of your original work?
Thank you. I would be delighted to do that. So I'll start with a poem that you also mentioned as well, which is titled I Wonder, and it goes like this. I wonder how many times you healed yourself to become a healer now. You strive so hard to be perfect. I wonder how many times you have been put down by people. I wonder how many battles you have fought, for I see your scars scattered. I wonder how cruel the world has been for you, that you decided to be the kindest now. You know the right words to say. I wonder how many times you have said that to yourself. I see you always smiling, but I can't help but notice how weary your eyes look. I wonder how many times you healed others while you were breaking into pieces on the inside. I see you tell everyone you're okay with the hope that it'll be a word you actually mean and not simply a mere word you overuse. I see you being a great listener while you have words buried deep inside that you wish to scream out, but you never might. I see you love others with all your heart, but I still see you struggle to love yourself. It is as though it has been rehearsed for so long that you forgot you exist too. I see you put up with so much rejection and pain, hoping at the end it'll be love you gain. I see you, dear heart of gold. I pray one day a heart you will get to cold, knowing it'll never get cold, and may you always remember that you deserve the world. Now I'll be sharing a last poetry that I wrote for my father. I lost my father in the year 2014, so this is how I speak to my father, that is through my writing. And it is titled, Dad, the Quiet Echo of You. And it goes like this. Hi Dad, I know I write too much to you, but now it's the only way I can speak to you. 2014 was the year I lost you, Dad. I thought that would be the only day, but Dad, I keep losing you. I attended a wedding the other day. The bride looked lovely walking down the aisle, her dad steady by her side. I smiled for her, but in my heart, I lost you again, knowing you won't be there to hold my hand that way. The other day, I saw a father helping his little girl cross the street, and it hit me like it always does. I lost you again, Dad, remembering how your steady hands once guided mine, your soothing voice calming the chaos. I'll be honest, Dad, the years are stealing pieces of you. The sound of your laughter, the exact warmth of your embrace, even your voice, once so vivid in my mind, now drifts further away. And just like that, I find myself losing you all over again. But Dad, even as I lose, I find you in unexpected places. In the quiet resilience you left in me, in the lessons woven, in every story you told, and in the love you taught me to carry. So, maybe even though the years keep stealing pieces of you, you're still here in the way I love, in the way I live, and in every word that I write of you, Dad.
Alem, all of your poems are truly beautiful, but I must say, I Wonder still remains my favorite. So moving on to my next question, do your poems reflect more of your inner world or the world around you?
Thank you. So, my poem reflects both my inner world and the world around me, often blending the two seamlessly. Many arise from my personal emotions, be it joy, anxiety, self-reflection, etc. But I am also equally inspired by the realities that I witness around me. For instance, I have been very vocal about women empowerment, upliftment, and also mental health. These beliefs often shape my writing. So poetry allows me to give voice to the issues that I deeply care about, turning observation of social challenges into expressions of hope, resilience, and advocacy. In this way, my works become both a mirror of my inner self and a lens through which I engage with the broader world, seeking connection, understanding, and change.
Is there a moment or memory that often returns in your writing?
Thank you. And yes, one memory that often returns in my writings is that of my father, who passed away in 2014. I find myself often revisiting the little moments that we shared, how he would hold my hand while crossing the road, the lullabies that he'd sing for me and my brother, the stories he'd recount from his youth, his soothing voice, and his protective presence. Writing this allows me to keep his memory alive, to relive those moments, and to honor the guidance and love he gave me. Alongside this, the poems also revisit my own journey through anxiety and the pursuit of perfectionism, reminding me of the vulnerability, growth, and resilience that shaped who I am today. So these memories give my poetry depth and intimacy, connecting my personal experiences with universal themes of love, loss, and the lessons that each one of us carry forward.
Memories, it seems, is never truly lost, only written in verse. Having this conversation with you has been truly inspiring. Moving on to my next question, how do you transform simple thoughts into something poetic?
Turning simple thoughts into poetry begins with paying close attention to the nuances of everyday life, those small moments, fleeting emotions, or quiet memories that often go unnoticed. I try to capture them into words that have depth, words that carry both feelings and resonance. Sometimes it's a memory of my dad's soothing voice, a moment of anxiety that I need to release, or an ordinary scene that suddenly feels profound. I sit with these thoughts, feel them fully, and let the language emerge, shaping the ordinary into something intimate, alive, and meaningful. Something that not only reflects my inner world, but can also touch someone else's heart.
Well, moving on to my next question, what role does silence or solitude play in your creative process?
Thank you. Silence and solitude are the quiet spaces where my thoughts and emotions truly come alive. In these moments, I can really delve into the depths of my own mind and heart, unearthing feelings, memories, and reflections that often remain hidden in the rush of everyday life. Solitude allows me to linger with a thought longer, to examine it fully, and to give it shape and voice through poetry. It feels like being alone, It feels less like being alone and more like entering a sacred conversation with myself, where I have a chance to listen, to feel, to transform raw emotions into something tangible and meaningful. It is often within these still introspective moments that the essence of a poem emerges, one that's delicate yet profound, carrying both intimacy and universality.
So, my next question is, do you believe poetry has the power to heal? If so, why?
So yes, I truly and strongly believe that poetry has the power to heal. It gives us a safe space to confront emotions that might feel overwhelming, unspoken, or chaotic. Writing or reading a poem allows us to name those feelings and emotions, to give them shape and form, and to process them in a way that can bring clarity and release. Poetry also has the remarkable ability to connect us with others, reminding us that our struggles, joys, and vulnerabilities are shared human experiences. In this sense, it can soothe, comfort, and even transform pain into understanding, offering both the reader and the writer a quiet, resonative kind of solace and peace.
So, Alam, what kind of atmosphere helps you write your past verses? And are your poems usually planned or do they come to you spontaneously?
The atmosphere that nurtures my best writing is one that has a calm, quiet, and gentle focus. I often find inspiration in solitude, surrounded by subtle sounds, or a serene space where I can fully immerse myself in thought. It does not have to be elaborate. Sometimes the soft light of an early morning where the world is slowly waking up, the soft hum of the world outside, or a peaceful corner with my notebook is enough for me to spark creativity. So what matters most is a sense of presence and stillness where my emotions and memories can surface naturally and words can flow freely. In these moments, the ordinary transforms into something intimate, profound, and alive on the page. And for me, about on the topic of whether my poems are usually planned or whether they come to me suddenly, it's both a blend of both. Some poems emerge suddenly, almost like a spark, an idea, a feeling, or a memory that demands to be expressed immediately. And other times, writing is a slower, more deliberate process where I sit with a thought, explore its layers, and carefully shape it into words. Even the spontaneous poems are guided by reflection. I listen closely to the emotions and images that arise from it, allowing them to take form naturally. Whether sudden or planned, every poem is an attempt to capture something authentic, a fleeting truth, a personal reflection, or an observation of life that resonates deeply.
And now I'm curious, how do you choose just the right words to capture and express such deep emotions?
Well, choosing the right words comes from listening carefully to the emotion itself, allowing it to reveal its texture, rhythm, and weight. I then try to find words that carry the same depth, that feel honest and precise rather than words that simply describe it. Often, I read and revise multiple times, letting the language settle until it resonates with the feeling I want to convey. Sometimes, a single word or image can capture the essence of an emotion far more powerful than a sentence. For me, it is about trust, trusting the emotion to guide the words, and trusting the words to convey it faithfully so that the readers can feel it as deeply as I do.
Thank you so much. My next question is, do you write more during certain moods or seasons?
Well, I have noticed that my writing often flows more intensely during moments of introspection or emotional turbulence. These are times when my thoughts feel really heavy or restless. Quiet, reflective moods tend to bring clarity, allowing me to explore and express my emotions and memories more deeply. Certain seasons also influence my creativity. Example, autumn or the calm of early morning or the stillness of rainy days often inspire a more contemplative and intimate style of writing. Ultimately, it is the combination of mood and environment that awakens the words within me.
They say, for the heart, like the seasons, knows its own turning. What has poetry taught you about yourself, and is there a line where you have written that still lingers with you today?
Well, poetry has taught me to listen to my own heart, to my emotions, and the world around me. It has shown me the value of vulnerability, allowing me to confront feelings I might otherwise avoid and to embrace both my strength and my imperfections. I also learned that growth is a continuous process and that it is okay to stumble, to feel deeply, and to express those experiences honestly. Poetry has also taught me empathy, helping me understand and connect with the emotions of others. Above all, it has reminded me that being true to oneself, being raw, unfiltered, expressive, and reflective is not only courageous but profoundly liberating. Yes, there is a set of lines I wrote that continues to stay with me. It goes like this. I wonder how many times you healed yourself to become a healer now. You strive so hard to be perfect. I wonder how many times you have been put down by people. I wonder how many battles you fought, for I see your scars scattered. I wonder how cruel it has been for you that you decided to be the kindest now. You know the right words to say. I wonder how many times you've said that to yourself, picked yourself up and made yourself whole. So these lines linger because they are a reflection of my own journey, the struggles with anxiety and perfectionism, the battles I've faced, and the process of learning to heal and grow. They speak of resilience, self-compassion, and the quiet strength it took to transform pain into kindness, both towards myself and towards others. So every time I read them, I am reminded of the power of acknowledging one's own scars, honoring the journey, embracing the capacity to rise, heal, and connect with others through empathy and understanding.
And my next question is, how do you connect with your readers through your poetry, and what makes a poem feel complete to you?
Well, I connect with my readers by writing from a place of honesty and vulnerability. I try to capture emotions and experiences that are deeply personal yet universally relatable, such as moments of struggle, reflection, hope, healing, or growth. Through imagery, rhythm, and carefully chosen words, I aim to evoke feelings that resonate, allowing the readers to see themselves in the lines that I write. I also believe in leaving spaces within the poem for interpretation, inviting the readers to bring their own experiences and emotions into the work. So ultimately, the connection happens when the reader recognizes a shared truth or emotion in my writing, and I know that even a single line has the ability or the power to touch, comfort, and inspire someone. And a poetry feels complete to me when it captures the essence of what I intended to express, where the emotions, imagery, and rhythm come together in a way that feels authentic and whole. It is less about perfection now and more about resonance. A poem to me is complete when it evokes a feeling or thought, not just within me, but also within the readers or listeners. Often, it is a quiet sense of alignment where each word feels necessary, every pause intentional, and the poem communicates both surface meaning and a deeper emotional undercurrent. Completion for me is knowing that the poem has become a truthful reflection and that it carries the potential of connecting with someone on an intimate level.
And Alam, do you think everyone has a poet within them? Because I personally feel like I am possessed by John Donne because I am absolutely in love with him. So do you also think everyone has a poet within them?
Well, yes, I genuinely believe that everyone has a poet within them. Every person experiences emotions, moments, and observations that are uniquely their own, and poetry is simply a way of giving those experiences shape and form. Some experience it through words, others through art, music, or action, but the essence is the same. The desire to express, understand, reflect, and connect. So poetry in this sense is not limited to the written page. It is the language of the heart, soul, and mind, accessible to anyone willing to listen to themselves and give expression to what they feel deeply about.
And Alam, I also heard that you have an Instagram account where you share your work. So could you kindly share the handle with our listeners so they can follow and enjoy more of your poetry?
So for those who want to check more of my works, they can check my Instagram page, which is Nunu Alam Poetry.
For our dear listeners, do check out her Instagram account, Nunu Alam Poetry. I especially recommend the poem I Wonder, which is my absolute favorite so far. And now, moving on to my next question. What would you say to someone listening today who wants to start writing?
I would say start where you are with whatever thoughts, emotions, or feelings are present in this moment. Writing does not, I've realized, has to be perfect. It is not about crafting flawless lines, but about giving voice to what lives inside of you. Be honest with yourself, allow your emotions to guide your words, and don't be afraid of vulnerability. Some days you'll write effortlessly, other days it'll be a struggle, and that's okay. What matters is consistency, patience, and the willingness to explore your own heart. Every word is a step towards understanding yourself, and eventually those words can and will resonate with and touch the hearts of others.
Wow, that is a powerful perspective, and you have given us a lot to reflect on. How do you hope your poetry touches lives, even in small ways?
Honestly, I hope my poetry touches lives by offering moments of recognition, comfort, healing, and reflection. Even a single line has the potential to remind someone that they're not alone in their struggle, that their feelings are valid, or that hope and resilience are possible. I want words to inspire empathy, to encourage self-reflection, and to create a quiet space where readers can connect with their own emotions. Ultimately, if my poetry can help even one single person feel seen, understood, or uplifted, then it will have fulfilled its purpose.
It has been such a joy, Alam, but sadly, we come to the last question, and that is, if poetry were a voice, what would your say to the world today?
So before I end, I just want to thank you all for the opportunity that you have given me. It has been an amazing experience and it will help me grow more and more. So thank you. And for your question, if poetry were a voice, I hope mine would speak with honesty, empathy, and compassion. It would acknowledge the struggles, fears, and imperfections that we all carry, while also celebrating resilience, hope, and the quiet acts of courage that often go unseen. My voice would encourage reflection, self-acceptance, and kindness, reminding people that it's okay to feel deeply, to break, to heal again, and to grow. Ultimately, I hope it would offer connection, solace, and a gentle nudge towards understanding ourselves and one another fully, even in a world that can sometimes feel hurried or harsh.
Well, Alam, it was such a joy interviewing you today. May God bless you in your next walk of life. And so, on this special occasion of World Poetry Day, as our conversation draws to its gentle close, we thank you most sincerely for your time and for the richness of your words. For in your poetry, we are reminded that no voice stands alone, but each is of a greater whole. This is Akashvani MOKOKCHUNG.